know this channel is basically just based around zombies and zombies games, mainly Call of Duty zombies. Today I want to talk about something a bit different. Now, I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 6 recently because it is so good. And eventually I will come up with a video about how good it is, because as much as I love the old Call of Duties, I love Battlefield 2. And after a certain Call of Duty campaign, I feel like one particular franchise deserves a little more attention and discussion over the other. Now, this whole video idea was actually created by me originally wanting to play some of the older Battlefields because of how much I've been enjoying Battlefield 6. And to everyone's surprise, funnily enough, Battlefield, the franchise, is actually, if not tiny bit more of a memory to me, my core memory of a childhood, than Call of Duty. I remember going to a couple of homies' houses to play Battlefield after school just because all day we were talking about it. And this was right when Battlefield 3 and 4 were just fresh out of the market, and it was banging in terms of sales. Everyone had it. Everyone was talking about it.
Yeah, boy.
So I divvied up my Xbox controller, went onto my console, downloaded Battlefield 3 and 4 because I wanted to try both of them. Went on Battlefield 3 because obviously it downloaded first, it's a smaller game. Went on to multiplayer and the servers are shut down. Now, the reason the servers are shut down, I don't know if everyone knows this, is because they closed down the Xbox 360 and the PS3 versions of the game. You can actually still play it on PC, but because Xbox technically has the backwards compatible version of Battlefield 3, it's running the old Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3's version on it, so that's why the versions are shut down. But you can still play Battlefield 4 because you can play it backwards compatible from PS4, which they're not shut down on. Now, I'm not buying the PC version at full price. I will probably eventually just cave in because I want to play the multiplayer version, but I was essentially forced just to sit there and play the campaign of Battlefield 3, which ended up being fucking amazing. It was honestly a blessing in disguise that they were shut down. You wouldn't think so, because obviously I couldn't play the multiplayer, but the story, or more like just the general gameplay, is so good, especially when you compare it to this slop. There's generally just this weird aura that emits from PS3 and Xbox 360 games that you just don't get anymore, despite how good Battlefield 6 is. And to be honest, the true blessing of the fact that you can still play the multiplayer on Battlefield 4, because that's what made that game shine. The campaign was shit, everybody knows that. And don't get me wrong, it was shit, but compared to what we got today, I'll take Battlefield 4 any day. And to be honest, the actual vibe and the aura that PS3 and Xbox 360 games give you, even playing it backwards compatible on your Series X, just makes you want to play older games. It honestly makes me just want to hook up my PS3 and look through my library again. In fact, there's one particular series that I really want to talk about on this channel soon. I want to make a full-fledged 40-50 minute video on it because it's one of my favorites. I would even go as far as to say top 3, the Infamous series. Like I said, we're talking about Battlefield, and if I start going into that, you're going to get a big conversation, so we'll just stick to that. But talking about PS3 and Xbox games, the Xbox 360 games that make you want to play and look more into your library, really makes you think how shit games are nowadays, because you just don't get that feeling anymore with new gens. Even if you go a bit older into Bad Company 2, don't get me wrong, those memories aren't as strong as 3 and 4, because obviously I was over the age range, but Battlefield Bad Company 2 was solid. In my opinion, it was actually better of a World War One. I can't remember if it was World War One or World War Two, but better than whatever the fucking shit 5 was. And notice how with the new Battlefield 6 and how good it is, no one really gives a fuck about the failure of 2042 anymore. I don't think anyone actually remembers how much that damaged EA, because the company almost went under of how shit it was. People were flocking to new Call of Duties. That's how bad it was. They really redeemed themselves with that, and you have to give them respect. And it goes to show, Call of Duty, listen up. If you give gamers what they want, your game will succeed. It's not difficult to understand. A child understands that. And Battlefield 1, round of applause. How many people thought that was a fap, not a clap? And if I was to give my favourite thing about Battlefield 1, obviously I could say everything about how good that game is. Everybody already knows. I could go into it, completely different video, but the maps, they were phenomenal. Seriously, they were so immersive, so beautiful looking. Like, I genuinely do not remember that many maps from these games, Call of Duty or Battlefield. Obviously, you know, Siege of Shanghai. This is an after editing note that I have to put in the video. It's Shanghai, bro. Stop saying Shanghai. Stop it. That one was lit. That one was really good, where like the building falls over and shit. And the one in Hardline, you know, where everyone just waited at the top of the elevator trying to get to that one point in Conquest. But I don't even remember the name of that. Like, to be honest, obviously there are maps that I would remember if I thought more hard about it, but nothing that springs to mind. And we can't forget about the original Battlefield. I never actually played it, but I watched videos on it, and I remember it being very cool and very good. Wasn't obviously part of my generation, but it was sick. What I'm trying to make is that Battlefield 4 and 3 were generation changing. Seriously, they just... I don't remember what Call of Duty is the equivalent to the time when they came out, but it was a contender, mate. Seriously, it really matched up to it. And funnily enough, this is the only year where Battlefield has beaten Call of Duty so far. Fucking difficult though, is it? So another thing that I really like about Battlefield 3 was the character design. Like, I don't even remember, but in Battlefield 4, it was very military based, which is what everyone loves now. That's what they went back for in Battlefield 6, which I actually think is why everyone likes it, especially after the Call of Duty slot they're peddling out with microtransactions. But the vibe the characters had in Battlefield 3 was very like Modern Warfare 2, not fucking new Modern Warfare 2 Generation Alphas. Fuck off. Talking about proper Modern Warfare 2 from back in the day, where it was like very urban and like those African slums. It was sick, and I feel like that's the vibe a lot of Battlefield 3 has, especially with its campaign. So Battlefield 3 just had an atmosphere that I feel was unbeaten. In any game, especially with the graphics, the vibe, it was just special, and I really miss those old days. Playing through it, playing through the old campaigns, playing through different Battlefield multiplayers now. The fact that I love 6 so much, and I just feel like it all deserves a place in our heart. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Peace.